Hello class. Today I'm going to be giving my persuasive speech on the importance of wearing a seatbelt while driving in a car. How many people do you know that don't wear a seatbelt when they drive a car? Being a culprit of this myself, I feel like I am qualified to speak on this topic. Many of you have seen or have been a culprit of this yourselves. Wearing a seatbelt in a car is not only mandatory, but in certain circumstances can save your life. Today I'm going to explain why you should take this presentation as a warning for why you should be wearing a seatbelt whenever you're in a vehicle. It is mandatory law in all states across the country that anyone riding or operating in a motor vehicle must wear a seatbelt or some sort of restraining harness. The purpose of this is to prevent the driver or passengers from being ejected from the vehicle in the event of an auto accident. Statistics show that wearing a seatbelt saves on average 10,000 people per year. However, you are 50% more likely to be injured and 45% more likely to be killed in the event of an accident while not wearing a seatbelt. This was just some initial background information, but now I'd like to discuss the history of seatbelts. The seatbelt was first designed in 1885 by a man named Edward Claghorn. It was created to help keep tourists safe while riding in taxis in New York. Though the seatbelt was a safety feature in these cars, the rules were never enforced that they must be worn. The first enforcement of seatbelts was not introduced until the mid-1950s. It was not until 1975 that all automobiles from this point forward must be equipped with safety harnesses. Because of this, many car manufacturers had to redesign their models due to them not having any safety harnesses. Though these automobiles had the necessary safety features, that did not mean that people had to use them. Laws for using seatbelts did not come into effect until almost 20 years later in 1995, when the states enforced the click it or ticket law. In today's modern society, these laws are still in play and are enforced regularly. Before automobiles can hit the market, they must pass a series of inspections, including seatbelt and airbag tests. Once they pass inspections, they are then tested to make sure they function as they're supposed to. You may be thinking to yourself, well, if I'm not driving the car, do I still need to wear a seatbelt? Wearing a seatbelt in a car is mandatory regardless if you are operating a vehicle or not. While this law is true, there are a few loopholes when it comes to passengers in the back seats. Any adult over the age of 18 is not required by law to wear a seatbelt in the back seat of an automobile. In addition to this, anyone over the age of 16 is also not required by law to wear a seatbelt in the back seat of an automobile. There are some other laws pertaining to who does not have to wear a seatbelt. Children in an automobile must be fastened into a booster seat until they are 8 years of age or have a height of 4'9". Though adults are not required to wear seatbelts in the rear seats of a car, anyone who decides to ride in the front two seats are required by law to be fastened by a seatbelt. Now that you are aware of the laws surrounding safety belts, I think it's time to wrap things up. Today we reviewed the importance of why wearing a seatbelt is beneficial to staying safe in an automobile. Wearing a seatbelt in a car is not only mandatory, but in certain circumstances, it can save your life. I'm asking you all today to take this time to be safe when driving and be courteous to others when taking on the road. Thank you.